In the age of social media, it's hard to imagine a world without influencers. From fashion gurus to fitness experts, influencers shape trends, set standards, and inspire millions of followers. But with all the glitz and glamour of influencer culture, there's a darker side to this online world, a side that raises important ethical questions about mental health, self-worth, and the impact of constant online comparison. Social media has become a double-edged sword. On the one hand, it connects us, entertains us, and even gives people a platform to share their talents and ideas. But on the other hand, it can create a toxic environment of unrealistic expectations, constant comparison, and the pursuit of validation from strangers. The rise of influencer culture has amplified these issues, turning personal lives into public content and making self-worth, in some cases, a numbers game. Influencers present curated versions of their lives, picture-perfect moments that often leave out the behind-the-scenes struggles. For many, these idealized images set an unattainable standard of beauty, success, and happiness. The constant pressure to measure up can be overwhelming. But what does this mean for our mental health? Studies have shown a troubling link between heavy social media use and mental health issues. Anxiety, depression, and feelings of inadequacy are on the rise, particularly among younger generations. Constant exposure to highlight reels, those perfectly staged photos and videos that show only the best moments, can make us feel like our real lives don't measure up. But the harm doesn't just come from the content itself. It's the culture behind it. Influencers often thrive on likes, shares, and comments. The more engagement they get, the more their content is amplified. This creates a cycle of validation seeking, where followers begin to equate their worth with the number of followers, likes, or comments they receive. It's no wonder that social media is often linked to increased feelings of loneliness and depression. For influencers themselves, the pressure to perform can be immense. Many feel obligated to maintain an image of perfection, even when they're struggling behind the scenes. The scrutiny of millions of eyes can take a toll, leading to burnout, body image issues, and even a loss of self-identity. The concept of authenticity in influencer culture is often blurred, as influencers walk a fine line between sharing real, raw moments and creating content that keeps their followers engaged. But it's not just the influencers who are affected. Research shows that when we compare ourselves to the perfectly filtered lives of others, we're more likely to feel bad about our own. This phenomenon, called social comparison theory, suggests that constantly seeing others' successes, beauty, and achievements can lower our self-esteem. We start to feel like we're not enough. And in extreme cases, it can lead to dangerous behaviors like disordered eating, body dysmorphia, or even suicidal thoughts. Experts argue that the effects of influencer culture are especially damaging to young people who are still developing their sense of self. Adolescents are particularly vulnerable to external validation, making them more likely to internalize unrealistic standards. As one mental health expert puts it, in a world where likes and followers equal self-worth, it's easy to lose sight of who you really are. Thankfully, not all influencers are contributing to the problem. Some are using their platforms to talk about mental health, body positivity, and the importance of taking breaks from social media. These authentic influencers are pushing back against the culture of perfection, encouraging their followers to embrace their real selves, flaws, imperfections, and all. But these voices are still in the minority. So, what can we do to protect our mental health in an age dominated by social media? It starts with setting boundaries. Curate your feed to follow accounts that uplift and inspire, not just those that make you feel inferior. Take regular breaks from screens to reconnect with the real world. And most importantly, remember that social media is just a highlight reel, not the full picture. At the end of the day, true happiness doesn't come from the number of followers you have or how many likes your latest post gets. It comes from living authentically, embracing imperfections, and finding connection beyond the digital world. In a culture obsessed with perfection, let's remember that real life is messy, beautiful, and unique. And that's something worth celebrating. Thanks for watching. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by social media, know you're not alone. Share your thoughts in the comments below. How do you manage the pressures of influencer culture?